And I think they push for it, so we'd like to know what the enthusiasm level is, because we want to know how much we want to invest in it going forwards, because there's usually DLC, there's usually other enhancements that they can do. But if pre-order is bad and then actual take-up is bad, then you might get the first planned DLC because they were already working on it, but there may, the planned expansions may never come. I mean, if I read the news, or the computer gaming news correctly, something like Star Wars Outlaws has just received an update which may or may not fix the perceived problems. I don't play the game, I don't know what it's all about. But it may colour the developer into saying, not enough people bought this, producing more DLC for it might not be financially worth our while, so the game dies on the tree type of thing. It's something that MMOs, some publishers seem to have an issue with MMOs. I mean, back in the past, when you paid a monthly subscription for them, you would, the company's looking at, we've got 50,000 players at $10 a month. That's $500,000 that we're making every single month to develop expansions, DLC, whatever you want to call it. And they knew, that was their income. So if you produce a bad expansion and people say, this expansion sucks, I don't want to play it, then you lose your game population. And the upshot is the game then dies. Conversely, if you do a really good job, that game will generally bring in new players over time. Some of the older players may drop away. My experience is an MMO is the teams that are formed within the game. So if you're part of a guild, corporation, whatever, group of a player-run group of players, that they work together. They may have fallings out, but they work together. It's the community that keeps the game running. It's not how excellent the game is. It doesn't have to be an incredible game. It just has to be a really good game with community building assets, and people will play it for the community, not for the game detail itself. But then you have publishers who are like, why are we still paying money for this game? We've made the game, so can't we just reap the rewards of people playing it till the end of time? And the answer is no. We had EA Games. One of the games I played was Earth and Beyond, and they got into that idea. Well, the game exists, people are playing it. Why do we need to add more content? Because players are exploring that content and enjoying the community. But if you don't give them new content, then the only thing they have to go on is the community. And eventually they get bored playing the game. The community's good, the game kind of mundane. They'll look to a new game to play that new game. because it's, you know, it's not just the community, but it is, the community is a significant part of it. So if you don't have good community assets within the game, then people get bored quickly, because it's not easy to form unified groups, and if you don't keep producing content, people will go and play a different game which has the content. So we moved from Earth and Beyond, we went to Star Wars Galaxies, because EA Games got into the mindset of the game exists, why are we still playing a publisher to produce content for it? And so they stopped producing content. So the players got bored and looked for another game which had content. And we all moved. Our entire group moved en masse to Star Wars Galaxies. And it wasn't a big deal. Yeah, okay, we need to pay $20-30 for a new game, and we'll go and set up there. We've still got the community, and we've got a whole lot of new stuff to explore. And Earth and Beyond died. With Star Wars Galaxies, Sony Entertainment decided to mess with the game, so people got annoyed. Yo, I've spent 3 years building up this character and making a history for it, and you've gone and made my character obsolete, forced me to change to a different character class, and I'm not happy. You know, it's not the game I was playing. And the problem with it was, at least from my perspective, they basically created a more linear game progression. You start at level 1, you do the things, you expand your levels, whatever. But you had a quest line to follow, and I couldn't follow the quest line because I'd screwed up my my faction standing with one of the critical factions that you needed to at least be not antagonistic towards in order to do their line of quests, so you could move on to the next line of quests. And it's like, no, I'm not doing that. I would have to go out and shoot thousands of critters for an opposing faction in order to get a good faction with that group, so I could actually do the quests. But then I have to repair the faction of the people I've just been shooting to create a good faction there to do the next line of quests, and it's like, no. Or you delete your character and you restart. It's sort of, no, I did that. And so they lost players, because a lot of players didn't like the changes they made. And our team, very early on, just moved off of Star Wars Galaxies and went to EverQuest 2. And these were all subscription model games. You paid $10 a month, and the publishers thought, hey, we get $10 a month from all the players forevermore. This is a money-making scheme, and it's not. You have to keep the players entertained. The players aren't paying $10 a month for nothing. They want entertainment, and if you're not giving them new entertainment, they get bored and they go away, and your game collapses. So, yeah, we did the EverQuest 2 thing, and then they went to the free-to-play model, and our group at that point, we didn't have another game to go to, so it kind of fell apart. But that community had lasted through 3 solid MMOs up until that point. But yeah, we just ended up with, yeah, this isn't going to work out. There's no new game for us to go to. I think we did try a couple, but not enough people had interest in the subjects, so it just went away. Now, some of them are playing Earth and Beyond. What is it? There's a group that's created a server that will support Earth and Beyond clients. So you can go on and play, but there's no new content. It's the same old, same old. But it's got the community, so I'll go there occasionally, I'll play a few hours, but it's not something, I don't need to explore it all again, because I did that back in 2000 and something. Probably about 2002, if memory serves. But, yeah. You have to provide. Either you have a sandbox game. I think Eve works because it's a sandbox. You make your own entertainment there. It's a spreadsheet in space, but it's. If you've got story, you have to keep the story running, and if you lose the story, then people stop playing. Farming Simulator is a sandbox, so it's each map is a new story, a new exploration, and yeah, a new opportunity for you to set your own goals. So I want the biggest cow farm, I want the biggest sheep farm, I want to produce stuff out of the bakery before I finish this game, or at least this game save, that type of thing. Farm Sim 25 isn't notionally a new idea. We've got some new crops, but bottom line, we've got old crops too. Yeah, we're not significantly altering how the game plays. People have been playing Farming Simulator for probably about 15, 16 years now, some people. It's effectively the same game they've always been playing, but there's new stuff, there's new maps, and I think with something like that, it's the modding community that keeps the game going, not the publisher. Same with things like City Skylines or SimCity. It's not necessarily the new stuff, it's the modders that give you new ideas, new things to do. And for Farm Sim 25, we're already getting some new scripts coming in. Lumberjack mod dropped this week and was revised this week because there was, I think it was revised last night, but there was a problem with it. So he had to fix that. There's what else? There's this one. Time-saving stock check is already in Farm Sim 25. Oh, okay. And we're slowly building up to have the stuff that people like to add to the game, or at least I do. And the equipment will come as it comes. I'm not as crazy as I was in Farm Sim 17, where new mods, I've got to download all the mods, and I filled my hard drive up with mods. And then didn't use 90% of them. I tend to be a little bit more selective, so I would look here and I would say, I need a thing. So what thing did I need recently? The wall lights. I figured I could use some more lighting in the yard, and there was actually a new mod pack this week, was wall-mounted placeable wall lights. So they're not attached to sheds, but you can place them so they are attached to the sheds, and it provides a little bit of light in the yard, which we've kind of been lacking. So that I add it. Occasionally I'll look and say, okay, I need a food mixer to feed the cows with, and I want it to be kind of large, or I want it to be self-propelled or something like that. I'll go and look in the mod hub and I'll see if I can find one that meets my needs. Because yeah, I'm going to need one to feed the cows with soon, when I get the cows and when I start feeding them. So, yeah. But it's selective. I've added a few sheds since we started this save, because my yard is short of sheds, and a lot of the sheds I've been looking at have been a little bit on the large side. Okay. Gonna need to line up on that one, I think. Oops. Similarly with things like what is it? Truck Sim. People have made mods that modify the Truck Sim world corporations into real world corporations. So you can have, you can actually make deliveries to Walmart, or if you're in England, Tesco's. Or go visit a gas station that actually exists in the world, rather than, California CalGas or whatever. And you see UPS trucks driving around and FedEx trucks driving around. It's cool stuff like that you can add to the game, which make it a little bit more visually interesting or appropriate. But the game manufacturer isn't willing to pay the license fee to the company that owns the logos. That's why we don't get Ford trucks and Ford tractors and Ford, GM trucks, because it costs too much to license. We get them as mods. I think Giants are starting to move away from Lizard as if it's not a real world thing, it's Lizard. I think for Farm Sim 25 there's a little bit of a change to that. That's what I liked about the TLX series of trucks by Studio 82. 82? I think it was 82. They're all branded TLX trucks. Now, they're all based on, real world trucks, but you can't use the real world truck logos because Giants didn't pay the license fee to use them. However, TLX is not a real world company, so branded TLX is fine, at least in my mind. And I think Giants has relented somewhat in Farm Sim 25 to say, if you've got your own sort of made up corporate ID, you can use that so long as it's not applicable in the real world. Now, obviously, if you're going to, if CMT Software decides I'm going to get back into producing class tractors for Farm Sim 25, he can produce them for PC and console, because Class is receiving a license fee for the Zerion and the Arion 400 in Farm Sim 25. He kind of stopped doing it when Giants got the class license. But for Farm Sim 22, we did get a couple of sort of 2012 era class tractors. Our Zerion 3000, for example, is an older model of class tractor, which isn't necessarily competing with the 1922 models, or 2022 models. 1922 model. Yeah, okay, that would be a thing. And, yeah, same with a lot of other things. You can... So long as the manufacturer exists in game, you can produce a mod badged to that manufacturer. But if it doesn't, Farm Sim 22, it used to be Lizard. Now it's going to be, if you want to do TLX, or if you want to do, I don't know, that you could do BS. You know, a range of BS trucks produced by Black Sheep Modding, but BSM, you could do, you know, and we don't have MAN trucks anymore in Farm Sim 25. They've really gone over to Volvo on that count. So if, you know, you might be able to get away with MAN trucks, or you might have to limit your MAN trucks to PC only, where they don't need to be official logos. So, yeah, that's all the thing. But maybe if Black Sheep Modding want to produce their MAN trucks and make them freely available to console owners, they may have to produce BSM trucks, which look like MAN trucks and move like MAN trucks, and just have BSM on the front of them. Okay, let's check. Where's my field? My field is this one. I missed some down in that corner. I'm not going to worry about that. Okay. That's all done. How's the mower going? The mower has only 25 minutes left to finish that field. Wow. We can probably just go to normal lights now. Probably go in there. Oops. Disconnect. There we go. Okay, now I don't think that sugar beet harvester is going to fit in these types of sheds. What I might do is get a smaller garage. So maybe something like that, or something like that with doors on them. Probably not today, but